Hello there, welcome to Talking Balearics from a cloudy Ibiza. My name is Martin Makepeace.
And my name is Richie Pryor. Also a cloudy Mallorca today, Mark.
It is, mate, isn't it? We've had a very strange week weather-wise, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been on and off. But mind you, it's bank holiday weekend, so you probably expect it, don't you?
It is, mate. It is bank holiday weekend. How are you, Rich, anyway? How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm all right, mate. Yeah. Just very busy week at the Palmer Boat Show, which I'll
Oh, right, lovely.
let you know about
lovely.
during the course of this show, and a busy old weekend as well, actually.
Well, listen, mate. First of all, I've got an apology to make, Rich. I'm
Oh.
keep getting people telling me that I'm too hard on you, right? So,
well, listen, I'll tell you what. Listen, I've been to HR, right?
Yeah.
Because it could be classed as bullying. This, do you know what I mean?
What do you mean, Rachel? HR. Bullying the workplace. Apparently, I'm being too hard on you, so I'm going to make a formal apology, and I'm just going to tell you I'm doubling down today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to double down.
Well, you just informed me you work off a script. I didn't know we had a script.
Well, I kind of put it through ChatGPT, and it comes up with a few ideas for me, mate. So everything's AI these days, isn't it? Funny enough, Rich, I had more comments about our podcast this weekend than I think I've ever had before, and it kind of went along the lines of, I don't really want to tell you this, but I really like your podcast. Like it's something embarrassing. They don't want to talk about it, So
two old fellas that are really past their sell-by date actually might know what they're talking about.
Well, all joking aside, the feedback I get, it's from people who love the islands. They love Mallorca, Ibiza, Menorca, Formentera, but especially Ibiza, obviously. And they just like to hear what's going on in an English voice. And they think that we talk some modicum of sense, which I'm not sure that's correct. I mean,
modicum's a good word.
Mate, yeah, modicum.
You could explain that to the rest of us.
So no, good feedback. I won't tell the people, but I think I had 4 or 5 people say to me, "Can I tell you something? I really like your podcast." So there you go. Good to hear, isn't it? Good to hear.
Nice to know. Thank you.
Good to hear. Now, listen, talking of podcasts, this is, of course, Talking Balearics. It's myself and Richie's chance to sell the Balearics, but also tell them about the news, the culture, things that are happening. So what do you have for me today, please, Richie?
I have vehicles in Mallorca, vehicles in the Balearics, actually, on an increase. I know we've talked about particularly Ibiza and Formentera having a bit of a ration on a number of vehicles, but it doesn't look like it's changed the actual how much traffic there is here at the minute. So we're going to talk about that. Also going to quickly touch on the airport situation, because that is still an ongoing situation with regards to the new system that's working across, not just here in Spain and the Balearics, it's across Europe as well. A little bit on the boat show as well, because I was at the boat show this week for 3 days on 3 different stands with 3 different businesses. So got a good sort of feel to how that business runs, better than I probably ever had done before. And a bit of football chat at the end, Mark, of course.
Football chat, of course, Richie. I've got 3 items. Funny you talked about the cars, because I was just doing a blog about that for tomorrow. So we'll touch on it, and I'll give you a few numbers from Ibiza. But when you're doing your segment, not mine. Got 3 things as always, Rich. My 3 things this week is Coopers, people who just kind of living where they shouldn't live. It's a bit close to home, this one, for me, because it's happening just around the corner from where I live. So I'm just going to mention a little bit about that. Interesting debate happening on the White Isle of Ibiza at the moment, where they're trying to close down the beach bars because of certain issues, which I'll go into. It's a bit of an uproar. Locals aren't happy.
I signed a petition the other day. Yeah. Actually, Julian asked me to sign a petition.
That's the one, Rich. Yeah. We're going to talk about that one. You go more details. And also, what was my other thing? Hold on. Oh, yeah, medieval festival. So Ibiza town is being converted to a medieval festival, which I'm not sure if you do over there in Palma, but I think it's a big one, and it's going to be a punt for Ibiza town this week. So there's my 3, pal.
Good medieval. You're fitting well, Mark. Eh?
Oh, thank you. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Here we go.
Roles reversed.
I tell you what, I'm going to be really nice to you today, Rich. It goes against the grain.
And I'll get the gub. I'll get the gub this week.
Exactly. Let's go after Richie this week as well. But first of all, mate, what have you got for me?
Well, the number of vehicles in the Balearics grew by nearly 35,000 between 2024 and 2025. The total number of vehicles rose by 3.1%, which means basically every single person on the islands has a car, Basically, that's what they're saying.
Yep.
Obviously, not the case. Of course, some people have more than one. I'm guilty of that. I have two. Yeah, and obviously the situation with the roads. I mean, I don't know what it's like in Ibiza, Mark, but lots of people going online talking about the how heavy the traffic is, and we're only in April.
Yeah, yeah.
And God knows what it's going to be like.
Same over here. Same over here, Rich. I think low season is always busy. There's people jostling around on, and the roads are absolutely manic over here at the moment. They really are.
Yeah, I mean, so I was obviously, of course, in Palma at the over the weekend at the boat show, but I don't. We have touched on this before, but I don't think I've seen an April so busy, Mark. No, and everybody commenting how busy it is.
Not just that, Rich. I'm living in San Antonio Bay now in the summer where I did, and I drive through the town regularly. And every bar this weekend was packed. It was all staggered hens, by the way. I've got to tell you, and I spoke to a couple of bar owners. I said, how come it's so busy? They said, it's all big groups, which, it goes with our low season offering, doesn't it? our conversation about we've got to offer something low season.
We've had the Palma Boat Show. We had beach rugby this weekend as well. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, once again, all good things because they are early season. Do you know what I mean? And everything else. But yeah, I have noticed, particularly April, how busy it was, which, could only be good for business.
Richard, let me give you a little figure, because as I said, I did some research on, funny you mentioned this subject today, because I was writing a blog about it literally about an hour ago. There's a magic number here for Ibiza. So they're going to cap the traffic at, listen to this, 17,668 vehicles per day, right? That's what they're capping it at. But what you've got to remember is this doesn't include residence cars, Rich, right? So again, we're going back to where do the issues come from? Does it come from tourists and people coming, car hire, or people coming on the ferry, which are 17,668 vehicles per day? Or let's put it another way, or is it the 150,000 residents on the island? And guess how many cars are on the island for residents, mate? 160,000, right? So there's more than one car per person on the island, right? Which I'm guilty of. I've got two cars. Sorry, I'll put my hands up. I've got a small one for summer and a bigger one for winter. But it's a bit of a conundrum, Rich, because I still don't understand how they can go through with this. I really don't.
But yeah, where does the number come from? Is this the number of vehicles arriving on the island?
No, so this is well. So let me go, because this is interesting. So up to 14,000 rental cars per day allowed on the roads. Yeah.
Okay.
So the rest, so the 3,668 are from the ferry every day. So ferry. So you've got the tourists coming in bringing the cars, but so best part of 18,000 vehicles that are new to the island. Who aren't residents' cars, basically.
But surely you don't get 3,000 people, 3,000 cars, sorry, on the ferry, do you?
I don't know. As I said, I'm a bit concerned. Well, concerned, but I just think it's really hard to control. It's really hard to, I don't know where they get the numbers from. I really don't.
Well, particularly such a number as like 17,668 or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it sounds a bit strange to me. And, is our mate Juan at the port, counting them as he goes in, and then all of a sudden
he's got his hand
up and put his hand up and say, "Oh, no mas." Yes, that's it.
It's like getting to a club. Sorry, mate, just drive your car around, go straight back on the ferry. You're not allowed in. So
yeah,
I mean, it's tough. I mean, don't forget we've got these charges now where you have to pay to come on the island. I think it's €1 a day per card, so it's not punitive, but at the end of the day, it is something. Listen, the good thing is, Rich, regardless of how they're going to control it and how they're going to assess it year on year, we're moving in the direction where we acknowledge the problem.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's the most important thing. But, small, I remember going to Jersey as a kid, and literally there's 250,000 cars in Jersey or something stupid like that. And, Singapore. So it's a problem that's not going away, Rich. It really is. So we need to control or contain it rather than do anything else.
All right, what you got?
So Rich, I just explained in the summer I move into my apartment, which is in San Antonio Bay, and next door, about 5 minutes walk, something like that. I would say that there's a big hotel next to Playa Bella, opposite Plastic, the famous bar in the bay. There's a big hotel structure there. It's a big structure, and basically now, Rich, because we have the problem with the shanty towns and basically, people who can't afford to live on the island, but want to live on the island. And that's a separate debate, isn't it? And I could debate anyone with that. Why people want to live in shanty towns, is open to question. However, so this structure's there, and they closed it. They closed one of these shanty towns in Ibiza town the other day, and the bulldozers went in, and all the big kerfuffle. But those people just go somewhere else, Rich. You're not getting rid of these people. You're pushing the problem elsewhere. And ever since that, the structure, which is 5 minutes from my front door, is now been inundated with people. There's tents in there. So if you can imagine, it's open, just the structure of a hotel, open. So there's no balconies. It's really dangerous. So there's just tent after tent on each floor now. There's tents there. It's like a little community. And I've noticed a real uptick in the amount of those people who are hanging around outside, and it's not a great look, Rich. We're a tourist resort, we're a tourist island, and because there's not that many tourists around at the moment because it's early season, you can really feel the tension in the air, and it's just not a good look, Rich. It really isn't. And the problem is, I've written to the mayor of San Jose, because this is San Jose. This is not San Antonio. It's San Jose. So I've written to the mayor now, asking him, to tell us the solutions. But basically, the police aren't able to do anything. They're waiting for a court order, and as you know, Rich, courts take forever, don't they, over here? So it's a real situation now. And for me personally, I've seen it from afar, but it's the first time it's really come and present itself right in front of my eyes. And as I said, we're a NIMBY, aren't we? Listen, we're happy for everyone, but not in my backyard. I don't mind seeing it afar, but I can see it right on my doorstep. So they need to get a real handle of this problem and look for real world solutions, because at the moment they're just kicking the can down the road, Rich. That's what they're doing.
And are these people that are coming on boats and stuff like that, or are they? Where have they come from? These people. Most
of them are North African refugee or immigrants, should we say, not refugees. You've got a lot of sub-Saharans as well, people who possibly live like this in their own country. So this isn't really an issue for them, because they're used to living like this. But obviously, as I said, Richard, the first and foremost, the islands exist on tourism, and public image is a very important thing, whether you like it or not. And before everyone writes in and says, we've got to be this, got to be that, I don't care. How you present your resort is how you're perceived by the outside world. And at the end of the day, I don't think the authorities have got a solution, and I don't think they know what to do. And as you say, I think there was 25, 30 in there before. There's over 100 people living in this structure now. It's probably 5 floors. So I suppose you get a sea view, don't you? That's about it, really. So, and the rental price is good, but obviously you've got the build-up of rubbish, you've got the sanitation issues. I hate to think what it's like inside, Rich. So it's not good for them, and it's just not good for us either.
So obviously, Portugal have decided that the EES border isn't for them.
Oh, it's Portugal as well. When was this?
Yeah.
When was this? I missed this one.
No, it's just happened over the last sort of day or so. Right. Obviously, so Greece, it was the country I was looking for, but now Portugal and Italy are apparently reported to be following suit and allowing UK customers to sort of just come through passport control as they normally would, rather than use this EES scheme, which is causing quite a few problems. I sort of noticed on the news the other day, Sky News had I think one of the reporters had her sister come through Palma Airport and mentioned that it had taken her 2 hours to get through passport control. So it's not a good look. Do you know what I mean? Especially, I think we've mentioned this before, that you're trying to get through passport control, it's taking you longer than it's actually taking the flight to get from the UK to where it's supposed to be going. And it's just not a nice start to the holiday, is it? Let's face it, particularly if you've got kids with you as well. It's just awful. So Spain apparently holding firm at the moment, but I can see pressure being put on the authorities, AENA, do you know what I mean? Which is obviously the company that runs the airport structure here and everything else, to maybe just get rid of it, because it's not good.
Well, the dominoes are falling, Rich, aren't they? I was funny thing, I was listening to Simon Calder, who is the travel expert. He was on LBC the other day, and he was talking all the way through it and said, it's chaos out there. They've not thought it through. No. It's total chaos. Funny enough, there was a phone in on it, and someone came on from. No, actually, Simon Calder said, "Oh, Mallorca's running really well," And then someone else rang in and said, I'm living in Alicante, it's running really well. So it goes in line with exactly what we were saying about it before. Mallorca is a really well-organised airport. They're doing well. Alicante, obviously, all those years of dealing with the British market, you know, the Benidorm people and the Costa Blanca people there well. But the rest of us, Ibiza can't cope, Rich. So, it's starting to happen. As I said last week, it will. First busy day of the summer when the proverbial hits the fan, everything will change. So I don't know why they don't just get on with it, admit defeat, and say it was not very well thought out. Let's delay it for another year. Let's bring it in November, as you said before. Let's trial it, bring it in November, and go from there, because it just isn't working.
If it's one flight coming in, then it's not a problem. But if it's 3 or 4 flights that all arrive at the same time, it's bedlam. It really is. You know what I mean? It's not a case of Palma running well. Yeah, Palma can run well, but it will be the same as every other airport. It will collapse as soon as there are a lot more flights arriving, and that's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? We're only at the start of the season. This weekend just gone really is the official kickoff to the summer season, and it's only going to get worse.
Well, it's the pigs straight away, isn't it? The pigs. For that acronym, it's Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. The pig has declared war on it, and the us, which is Spain, are holding out. So, and also the pigs are the ones who rely on tourism. And if you look at Portugal, Italy, and Greece, their GDP is dependent on tourism, so they're not prepared to take any risks, and I don't blame them.
No, I agree totally.
So Chiringuito, Rich, I love that word, Chiringuito. You've got a lot of Chiringuitos in your neck of woods, haven't you? In fact, you've got that fabulous one in Palma Nova that I always go to. I forgot what it's called. Basically, Chiringuito is a beach bar, or any other name. And there's been a real pushback in Ibiza over the last 7 to 14 days because, again, something not a million miles away from me, just down the road, there's a place called S2E23 Beach, which is, I don't know if you remember, Rich, the Hotel Hawaii as was on the headland, yeah? Ocean Beach, Hotel Hawaii, San Antonio Bay. There's a lovely little beach there, S2E23 Beach, and there's a Chiringuito there called S2E23. So that has now been slated to close because they haven't got the right paperwork and they've been delaying it and this and that. Typical old Spanish story where really they probably opened on not correct paperwork 50 years ago, and it just goes on and goes on. But now the red tape is closing in, and there's been a real pushback from it because this particular beach bar is one of the kind of the old-fashioned, the old school, as you'd call it, because it's cheap, it's cheerful, it's full every night. For that reason, you probably get all walks of life go there. It's just a good place to hang out. Now, I've got to tell you, Rich, I do see two sides of every story. So I like to play devil's advocate. So if you haven't got the right paperwork, then you need to get it. If you can't get it, then you need to overcome these problems. So I can't talk the legal side of it as well. But I also do understand that these places, Chiringuitos, there used to be hundreds of them in Ibiza. There's very few now, mate, because they've all been converted into swanky beach restaurants charging €100 for a bottle of wine and €50 for a steak and this, that, and the other. So on the residents group, you just said there you signed the petition, didn't you? So
I did, yeah.
Which there's a big petition, real pushback from the residents of San Antonio and San Jose, San Antonio Bay. So let's see what happens. It's funny though, Rich. I would say that there was a big kickoff online, and I was reading it, but in the very last line of the report in the paper, it said, after going into all this and creating all this kind of drama and havoc, and it said, they do have the right to appeal this. Nothing's happening anytime soon, type of thing. So let's hope it's a storm in a teacup. But as I said, the feeling from the streets is this is another example of Ibiza just crushing the old school and wanting the new money rather than the old money.
Definitely. Listen, Mark, Palma Boat Show. I was at.
How was it? How was it,
very
mate?
good. Very good. We brought, obviously, it's part of Wave Radio, our radio station, Wave Mallorca. We did 3 days live broadcasting. We were with a company called Warren Maritime, which are like a crew recruitment company with Precision Marine Engineering, an engineering company on the Thursday, and Naughty Parts, who are sort of a water sports company on the Friday. So we had sort of, a good view into lots of different aspects of the boat show and how it all works. I don't think I've spent as much time down there that I've done in the last sort of 3 days anyway. And I'm probably as guilty as most to say that, tourism is our biggest industry and everything else, which it is, of course, we know. But, there are other industries here on the island, particularly the boating fraternity. It does make up 3.1% of the regional GDP.
But that is tourism, but it's tourism driven as well, Rich.
It is tourism driven, but
so the umbrella's still the same, isn't it?
Exactly, but it brings in about 1.1 billion euros to the islands as well, and employs somewhere in the region of 5,000 people. And also, don't forget, quite a lot of it is year-round work as well, because you have the charter stuff going out through the summer and everything else. Then you have the painting and the maintenance coming through in the winter. Palma has one of the best, paint places here in the world.
Paint places, is that the technical term for it, Rich?
Yeah. I don't know what you call it, but
you mean the Varaderos where they store them and they work on them over the winter.
That's those, the Varaderos,
or the paint places, Richie Sprite would call it like that.
Yeah, the paint places, the Varadero. He used to play out front for Man United. Didn't he?
I tell you, he had a good left foot, that lad did.
Yeah, he did. Sign him up, says Harry. Anyway, but listen, all in all, I was thoroughly impressed. Met a lot of great people, and it's a good boost to the island. It's a good start for the summer season. I spoke to the owners of the 3 businesses. I've done a bit of a blog on it this week, and all thoroughly enjoyed it. All got a lot of business out of it, and are all chasing, leads and things that they've got over the course of the last 3 or 4 days. So all in all, good, and everybody looking forward to next year as well. Friday night, actually, because I've never really been around on Friday night. Friday night is sort of party time where lots of the stands do parties with DJs or bands or singers or whatever, and it was great. The atmosphere was really good.
It's great. I mean, you're very lucky. You've got such a great port and marina, and you've got great facilities. I still think that this industry is undervalued, Rich. I really do.
I know. I totally agree.
I think that there's a lot of sniffy people out there who have-nots, or they're just rich people on their big boats, blah blah blah. And I just think that the Balearic government probably just need to acknowledge it a little bit more. I said it with the Route of the Sail as well. Remember when we were talking about the yacht race? Doesn't seem to get the exposure that it should. I mean, if that was a cycle race or a marathon, there'd be wall-to-wall coverage. So I still think a little bit like golf in Ibiza, which again is another hot potato over here. Golf and boating. They're very undervalued, and I just think we need probably the government to get on board and help the industry a little bit more. It wouldn't be nice for them to say, what can we do to help you, or rather than let's pay some more taxes.
Yeah, and I think when we mentioned it last week, when you've got places such as Dubai and Monaco and Miami, mentioned in the same breath as Palma, because of their boat shows, then you're on the right track, and you're doing a good job. And as I say, I was thoroughly impressed by all the organisation, the professionalism of all the businesses and everything else. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Rich, it's world class, simple as that. Palma and boating is world class, and I mean, we're probably trailing behind a little bit. I think our waters are as good as yours, but you've just got more facilities. Now, Rich, quick bone to pick with you. You know that list that you came up with last week? Where did you get London on that list, by the way? Was it an old list or something? Because when I was doing my research a little bit later, I couldn't find the London boat show. I mean, listeners will probably put us right, but I think it's been cancelled, the London boat show.
Oh, has it? No, I don't know. It was on. Well, didn't it used to be at Earl's Court or something like that?
Yeah, then they moved it to XL.
Okay.
And then I couldn't find it. Everyone else came up straight away, or Dubai and what was the last one? Was it somewhere in the States? I can remember, or
Fort Lauderdale, was it?
Fort Lauderdale or whatever. They all immediately came up. But when I was Googling London Boat Show, I couldn't get anything. So I mean, listen, sack the researcher, mate.
Yeah. I will. I'll have a word. I'll have a word.
Have a quick word. But no,
the research is next to HR, so I'll get in there quick.
Oh yeah. Is that the big department that we employ from Talking Balearics? Is it?
Yeah, that's it.
We'll get your legal people to talk to my legal people. I'm sure we'll solve it, mate. Yeah. So we've got a bit of exciting news. I mean, and I've got a little bit of a confession to make. I've never actually done this weekend because it's the medieval festival in Ibiza town this weekend. Well, it runs from the 7th to the 10th. It's the old town of Ibiza, the UNESCO World Heritage Site. We know it. It's the iconic part of the island. It's the place that you see as you come from the airport. You can't miss it. It's called Ibiza Old Town, or Dolt Villa to give it its official name. And that converts it into whole streets of medieval atmosphere. They've got street stalls. Everyone's dressed accordingly. It's fantastic, or so I hear, because Rich, I've never been. You know why? And I remember telling you this story last year. It's the Balearic Cup weekend, right?
Oh, okay.
Always the same weekends as the cricket Balearic Cup, and obviously I'm always into cricket, so I've never got round to going, which is a big shame. And I'm in Menorca this weekend for the cup.
Nice.
Which I'll talk about at the end when you do your football. But I've got to say, it's probably, and I hear this from many people, it's one of the best weekends of the year because you've got knights and jesters, you've got street performers, fire shows, artisan markets and traditional food. There's music, theatre, live reenactments, which is good. So it's one of the biggest cultural festivals on the island. So if you are in Ibiza this weekend, make sure you skip to the Old Town and get involved. You know what I like? We do a medieval festival in San An. They do like the big hog roast. You know what I mean? We've got these big hog roasts. So you go and have all this beautiful food and it's great, mate. So, it's really good. But so we're not talking about the future. Ibiza is going back to the Middle Ages this coming weekend. So 7 to the 10th, 4 days, medieval festival. I keep saying fiesta for some reason. Medieval festival. Get involved and have a great time in Ibiza.
Probably takes you back to the old Comte de Mal days, Mark. We used the medieval knights and everything else. Do you remember those when we used to chuck the chickens at the knights as they used to ride by us?
Well, luckily we never had a medieval. We're one of the few resorts that never had a medieval festival, but you had one.
So we had one. We had one. It was fun. It was something we had to tell the clients chickens don't fly in life and they don't fly in death. Because the knights were getting fed up of being pelted with flying chickens. Do you know what I mean? It's great.
Oh, class, mate. We used to have a pirates' night, which was hopeless, to be fair. It was a rubbish, but we used to get.
I remember your pirates' night. Yeah, it was terrible.
It was terrible. The guy came on. I think it was Redbeard came on, and he couldn't speak. He couldn't speak English, so we kind of listened. We're like, "What's he saying?" I mean, I was there every week, and even I couldn't understand the script as well. But the best thing about the pirates' night in it was in Recorder's Pins, which is important as to rent, is that they used to serve sangria from the bucket. They used to have these buckets of sangria. You should go and get the sangria out. And the sangria was so strong. I mean, I can remember me drinking heavily on that night. It had to get through the night, Rich. It was that poor. And I remember the next day everyone saying, "Oh, that's one of the best nights I've ever had." I went, "Yeah, it's a sangria talking." I can't remember it. Yeah, it's a sangria talking.
Brilliant. So let's talk a bit of football, Mark, shall we? Real Mallorca, what a result for them on Friday night.
Amazing.
Biting the fingernails. They went to Girona, Mallorca with the worst record in the whole league, worst away record. They only actually won one game away all season, and that was against Sevilla. Went to Girona, won by 1-0 with a goal from Samuel Costa in the first half. Hanging on a little bit in the second half, to be perfectly honest. But it's a great result because it takes them above Girona. We're on 38 points, 15th in the league, 4 points clear of relegation. Sevilla have to play tonight. They're playing Real Sociedad tonight. So we could do with Sevilla getting beat tonight because that will really help us. We've got 4 games to go, of which they are this coming weekend, Villarreal at home. Villarreal are 3rd place, looking like they're going to secure Champions League football, so that won't be easy. Then we've got Getafe away. Getafe are in 7th place. They're safe. And then our last 2 games are against second bottom and bottom, Levante and Real Oviedo. So still in our hands. Everybody seems to be sort of picking up points lately in and around the bottom half of the table. But all the way up to, I'd say Valencia even at 12th. Could actually get involved in this. I think Vallecano on 42 are safe. Valencia on 39 points, and Sevilla on 34 points. I think it just depends how well teams play in the last few games. But anyway, listen, Mallorca have given themselves a great chance, and Di Michaelis has done a great job.
I know, great. I mean, fantastic result, Rich. I was made up when I saw it as well. It was Friday night, wasn't it? I think was it Friday night?
Friday night, yeah. It was.
I missed it, so I was looking. I forgot it was Friday, so it came through as a bit of surprise. But he's done a fantastic. I mean, any away. I mean, you're the worst away team in the world, aren't you? So to get totally. 3 points, not just that when you need it as well, Rich. That's the thing as well. So fantastic. Yeah. Rich, can you just give a big shout out? Oh, you got some more football? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, just a couple of
Just
a couple of things. Real Mallorca B. What happens here in Spain is that a lot of big teams have B teams, which are normally youth teams. Really, to be honest, you're not like reserve teams. They're sort of youth teams that bring players through to get into the first team. They won Tercera yesterday, which means they go up to Segunda RFEF, which is basically our 4th division, if you want. Do you know what I mean? So they could go all the way up to Segunda, which is the league below the obviously La Liga. They can't go any higher than that because obviously you can't have two teams from the same club in the same division. So, but that's a great result for Real Mallorca B, and also a fine win for Palma this weekend, beating SD Port Mayan by 4 goals to 1. My son was over the moon. He played as well.
Did he play? Oh, great! Did you go?
I didn't, mate. I had the boat show. I couldn't get out of the boat show, so I literally I got there the final whistle. So good win,
great win, mate. Yeah, we listen. When I say we, Port Money, which is my
they've had a good season, huh?
They've had a good season. So I think maybe it's just the end of a long season, mate. Really, I think they've put the work in. I think we're 7th or 8th. So they've done done really well. And obviously our big rivals are Udi Ibiza. And
below you,
we smashed them out of the park this year, mate. So I think we drew both derbies, but on a head-to-head, we're much better than them. Anyway,
I don't know if I don't know something I want to mention also. I don't know if you've heard this, that they were talking about in youth football making national leagues in each of the different islands, which I don't know what you think. I think it's a bad idea.
No, it's a terrible idea, Rich. Terrible idea.
Only because you and Minorca don't have I don't think enough teams of quality in able to get their national, and also it sort of denies the better teams to have the opportunity to play against all the good teams from Mallorca. No, I'm not just saying that. That's the reason.
I don't like it. It's another layer. I don't like it, Richard. It's a bit like the Welsh League when they brought that in, and everyone's going, hold on a minute, that doesn't really make much sense because we're just playing a little kind of. You've got no opportunity to go up to the big boys and Division Honor and things like that. So no, I don't like it, Rich, and hopefully
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
A lot of people weren't very happy with it. So
no. So just before we leave, just a big shout out to Ibiza Cricket Club, Mallorca Cricket Club, and Menorca Cricket Club. Now, it's one of the few things we can actually talk about. There's no Formentera, so unfortunately, but it's one of the few things we can talk about. A Pan Islands tournament, isn't it? So this weekend we travel to Menorca on Thursday. So Friday is Menorca versus Ibiza. Saturday is Mallorca versus Ibiza, and then Sunday, which we're hoping is going to be the big one because they're probably the two best teams, Mallorca and Ibiza. They play off on Sunday. So good luck to everybody, but especially my team, Ibiza. I've just played this weekend, so I'm a little bit jaded. Took a super catch. Did you see my catch on the on my story?
Funny if I missed it.
It was televised as well, mate. So
really? And you did it on Sky?
You know how much? Well, not yet, but I'm thinking they'll pick it up. To be fair, because you know how much I hate TV and the camera. So. But no, this weekend it's looking forward to the cricket. So
who are the holders, Mark?
Mallorca, obviously. Okay. Yeah, you did very well last year. We won 23-24.
Okay.
You guys.
And who are the favourites this year then?
And Mallorca are always the favourites, Rich. Yeah. And you're the best side. But don't forget, we've got Lou Vincent, which is our new skipper, the ex-New Zealand international.
Ringer.
Yeah. No, he's our club captain now. But
Ringer.
Kind of. Yeah, he's our club captain. He lives on the island now. However, he got out first ball yesterday, mate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, first ball, golden duck yesterday. So
funny enough, I did speak to. Is it a guy called Wes?
Yeah, Wesley. He's a boatie.
Yeah. So I spoke to him, and he sent me the flight list. They've got Jay Anderson on their list. I don't know if that means anything to anybody.
Yeah. No, I don't know. No? Is that's John Anderson, the fat the fat Scottish guy who lives in the bar.
Jay Anderson. He was held. I think he was playing for Nottinghamshire before. A fast bowler, I think.
Just shows you about your knowledge of cricket. Are you talking about the Burnley bomber, Jimmy Anderson, who plays for Lancashire by any chance?
That'll be him. Yeah. That'll be him.
Hey, we'll see him off, Rich. Don't worry about that.
and by the way, Menorca's cricket ground is the best in the world, isn't it?
Best in Europe, I'd say, by far.
Yeah, I agree. It's amazing.
If you like old school cricket, then Menorca. I mean, our ground is pretty spectacular now, but Menorca are 40 years ahead of us, mate. It's a wonderful place to go and play cricket, and a really good set of lads as well. So looking forward to that. And final thing, Rich. Just everyone out there, listen, we're getting such great feedback from the podcast. Please like and subscribe if you can, because that means you'll get the podcast delivered to your platform every week and you don't have to download it. So please do that for us and we appreciate it. And leave us some comments too.
Yeah, it's always nice to get the comments, actually, isn't it? Yeah. Whether it's been good or bad, we take them with a pinch. We take them with a pinch of salt. We don't take it to heart. Don't worry.
Another one.
Martin's been used to negative comments all his life.
Yeah,
so
of course, mate. Listen, it's water off a duck's back, Rich. Listen, remember, if you give it, you have to take it. And
totally.
I think all banter's good banter, Rich. It's as simple as that. But I've got to tell you, those 4 or 5 people I spoke to this week, 3 of them really surprised me because they weren't people that you'd expect. So it's all good, mate. It's all positive, and
good.
Thanks for everyone's feedback. I really enjoy hearing what you think about it.
Yeah, me too.
And listen, I do understand that Richie does waffle on a lot, but literally he's getting better. I'm teaching him. the final dig in the ribs before I can't help it, mate. So
Mark, maybe you can beat this out. He's full of shit, that boy.
Rich, I'm gonna have to beep that now, aren't I? Rich, it's always a pleasure, mate. Same time next week.
All the best, Mark. Oh, listen, I'm off to London tomorrow to see my team, hopefully.
Yes. Well, that's why I recorded. This is why we're recording this a day early, Rich, aren't we?
We are. That's right. That's true. So, let's see how we get on. I'll tell you all about it next week.
Good luck to the arse tomorrow, mate. Listen,
Thank you, mate.
Have a good week, buddy.
All the best.